Welcome to the Curate Your Life with Demetria podcast, where we focus on curating your life and image from the inside out so the life you're living matches the life you dream about. So I normally sleep pretty well, but as a life coach, one of the things that I spend a lot of time thinking about is what keeps you up at night. I think a lot about what you need or want and what keeps you up at night and how I can help you. And I figured out at 2:48 a.m. last Friday, July 21st, it's probably the same things that were keeping me up that night. And again, I generally have no problem sleeping. I can fall asleep pretty much right away. And if I wake up during the night for a bathroom break, I can go back to sleep pretty quickly. But that night, it was all running through my head. So I gave in and I got up and I got it all out. And the next morning, I coached myself and will be getting coached on it as soon as possible. So this is what was playing in my head. I'm worried about my aging parents and how to help them and still keep up with my life. And who's going to help me when I get to be their age? And how not to be affected by the stress of it all, because I know on some level that causes the body to secrete cortisol, and that leads to belly fat and potentially trying to buffer with food and alcohol and TV. And I need to call the optician to check on my new progressive lens glasses. And how will that adjustment be? And what am I going to wear to this important reception that I have coming up? And what to do with my hair? Should I keep it curly or try to straighten it? Does it even matter with 105-degree heat and 75% humidity? And why can't I find products that work for me in this humidity? And was I crazy to start this business? Can I really make it work? Will I have to go back into the job market in my 50s? Will there be a job market, or will it all be done by AI? Should I move out of my apartment, my town, my state, my country? And will any of those affect my taxes? Am I making a difference in my community? Should I be doing more than what I'm doing? Should I be with another organization? Do I really fit in? Do I care if I fit in? Am I drinking enough water and getting proper sleep? Do I need a probiotic, and exactly what do they do? And is the Mac OS Rapid Security Alert real, or is it phishing? Should I take that trip during Thanksgiving? And why are trucks so damn expensive? Should I keep riding my Peloton or wait for the replacement bar from the safety recall? And when will that be coming? And why didn't they have enough on hand to meet demand when they announced the recall? And how long will the supply chain issues go on? And why can't somebody figure it out? And when did politics become trashy reality TV? And will we ever get back to some level of decency and respect toward our neighbors? What can I do about brain health and is stress making it worse? And the list was seemingly never ending. And that night, deep breathing couldn't fix it. Sleep meditation wasn't working. And the background noise, which used to be white noise, which is now blue or brown or other colors. When did we get so many colors of noises? From my alarm clock was not working. And how all of this looked and felt for me in that moment was anxious and tossing and turning to the point of getting up. It felt heavy, like a heavy pit in my stomach, and tears were stinging my eyes. And I know that all of those questions and worries and things that were swirling around my head were just thoughts. And I could let them continue to swirl, or I could get them out with pen and paper, which I did and normally do before bed. But that night, for some reason, it didn't work. But I knew that leaving all of that unchecked would not only keep me tossing and turning, it would allow it to gain speed and momentum and traction. So I got up and I journaled about it to get it all out. And this time I did it electronically because I realized this is the kind of thing you're grappling with at night, the thing that keeps you tossing and turning. So I wanted to talk about it and help you deal with it. And like I said, I spend a few minutes before bed journaling and getting all of those thoughts out of my head before going to sleep. But for some reason, that wasn't enough that night. So I got up and I got it all out. And what I read to you was just a sampling of what came out with 10 minutes of typing. And the next morning, I started examining those thoughts and coaching myself on them. And I will tell you that getting them out, just getting them out on paper, or in this case, typing them out, helped. That gives you some perspective. But the next morning, I got up and I coached myself on them, and I will be getting coached on them because I know this is just what my brain has evolved to do, to watch for danger and keep me alert. It just doesn't know that as real as all of that felt in that moment with that pit in my stomach, it was not real danger. It was just my mind unchecked and running wild. And again, I have since spent some time looking at those thoughts and questioning and investigating to figure out what is true. I had to ask myself, what can I control in the situation? What of those things do I have control over? And I reminded myself that I can handle the feeling of having a pit in my stomach, because that's all that it is. It's a feeling that was caused by those thoughts. When I'm thinking and worrying and playing out scenarios of dementia, I'm catastrophizing and spending energy and thoughts and generating feelings, negative feelings, about something that I don't know will happen. And if it does happen down the road, none of the worrying and spinning that I was doing is going to help in any way. It's a total waste of time. There is not a worry exchange where the amount of worrying I do now will impact whether or not I get dementia or lessen the severity of it. It's not like the universe is going to be like, okay, she put in hundreds of hours of worry. She has some credit. Let's give her a mild forgetfulness. It doesn't work that way. Worry is only robbing you of peace now. And I am not being flippant about dementia at all. I just want you to understand that worry and stress have never solved a problem. Examining a situation and getting down to the facts, taking as much emotion as possible out of it, and looking at what you can control is where you hold power. Because when I sat down and examined all of those thoughts, the thoughts that were on paper and had some distance and perspective on them, I was able to pick out what was actually true and what I could control. And one of the things that I know I can control is my thoughts, my brain. Even though my brain was running wild that Friday morning, I have a human brain that is very good at its job. I just have to be on to it. And I know that it's natural to have negative thoughts, but I don't have to believe them. I can question them and work on practicing better thoughts. And more importantly, I can deal with the feelings that come with those negative thoughts until I create better thoughts. And I also just have the option of never entertaining those thoughts again. I'm not saying that they won't come back, but once they're out and I've had a chance to look at them rationally, I can ask myself if it's absolutely true. I can see it's just my mind spinning. And when it comes back up, I can say, that's BS and move on. And I will do that every time those thoughts come back up, because they will come back up. I just have to retrain my brain and redirect it. And if I decide that it is true, I'll ask myself if it's something I can control. And if the answer is no, which is highly likely because all I can really control is me and my brain, I will focus on controlling my thoughts about the situation and how I respond to the situation. And that is going to be determined by what I think about it. I get coaching because it helps to have that outside perspective. Yes, even still as a coach, it helps you see what you're missing or to gain a new perspective, because when you're in it, you can't see it. Even after getting it out on paper, the brain is very good at, yeah, but. So I can tell myself, listen, you're fine. You made a tactical decision to go all in on your business. You have a plan. You're working very hard. And my brain will say, yeah, but what if Oprah starts coaching? Or what if AI takes over the world? And it can go on and on and on. But an outside perspective can show me the spiral and help me get back to a place where I have power and control. It's like the quote from David Foster Wallace that says, there are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, morning, boys, how's the water? And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, what the hell is water? If you're in it and need help seeing it and understanding that you're not drowning in it, that you can make your way through it, then schedule a consultation with me. I get it. It can seem overwhelming, but I've got you just like my coach has me, and we can both sleep better at night. And if you want to continue this conversation with like-minded women who are creating lives they love, come join us in the Curate Your Life Facebook group. Or if you're ready for the tools that will help you create a life that you don't feel the need to escape from, schedule a consultation with me and discover how coaching can change your life. You'll find the links in the show notes. Until next time.